News in a Minute from GNN, the Georgia News Network.
We are back. Another week, another episode of The Six Man with Cam. I am your host, Cam Urshery. I don't know what episode this is. I think it's episode 4. For one, I just appreciate everybody coming in. I got a nice guest today. This is a guy, Florida All-American, Florida great, NFL tight end. Somebody I seen as like a big brother. Cool dude, man. Real cool dude. If you ever meet him, you'd be like, wow, this dude is tall. He's played against some greats. He is a great. The one and only Ben Troupe, my guy.
What's going on? I feel man, it's crazy. I mean, when I was I'm a young boy and I'm talking to the OGs, I'm saying to myself, man, you know how you see somebody who they older than you, like, dude, I just hope that when I get their age, I make sure I can still resonate with cats younger than me. I don't do the whole young whippersnapper when I was young. We used to do this and do that. No, I try to find ways that we are alike. We definitely have a love of sneakers, definitely have a love of sports. Obviously, we Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Hawks fans, by default. But no, man, when you told me you was doing your 6 man with Cam, I was like, hey, man, I got to make sure I make my appearance.
Yeah, I mean, I had to bring you on. I mean, like I said before, Florida legend, All-American, NFL tight end, played 6 years?
Yes.
I mean, you played against some of the greats. I know my dad grew up watching Deion. You played against Deion. I grew up watching Ed Reed. My mom, Peyton Manning fan, Vince Young. He's one of my favorite college football quarterbacks ever. You caught, and I just found out you caught in Vince Young's first ever NFL pass touchdown. Like, you've made so many accomplishments. Like, how was it like just playing in the NFL? You're playing against all those elite guys that I grew up watching, but you grew up playing against.
You have to normalize it. You do have to normalize it. I'm not gonna act as if you come into the league and you already polished. Eddie George was still on the Titans when I first got there, even though he never played. Played with Steve McNair and Keith Bullock and Samari Rolle and Kevin Mawai, who's a Hall of Famer, played against Peyton Manning. Oh, man, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, Dwight Freeney, Sean Taylor, Ed Reed, Deion Sanders, Ray Lewis, Jason Taylor, Julius Peppers. I mean, if you name them, I went up against Brian Dawkins, caught a touchdown pass against Brian Dawkins, caught a touchdown pass against Troy Polamalu.
That's crazy.
Got almost knocked out by John Lynch. But you know what? When I look back on it, man, I completely jumped over Champ Bailey in my rookie year on Christmas Day. Had a Christmas Day game and caught one pass of the game. Completely dove over Champ Bailey. That's my only highlight of the game. We got the breaks. I was about Denver that day. But when I look back on it, I'm just happy at the fact that my talents were up to par with everybody around me. It's not. I never played for recognition. Didn't play for no Hall of Fame, Pro Bowls, All Pro. Would have loved to have played in the Super Bowl, but unfortunately, my one time making to the playoffs, we played against San Diego Chargers, and they had Phillip Rivers, they had Sean Lights Out Merriman, and I don't know if you ever heard of him, had a guy by the name of LaDainian Tomlinson. There was no way we were gonna beat that team. So.
Hey, one thing I can say about you, like, I've worked with you for 2 years now? Yeah, going on 2 years. New Year's will make 2 years, but for you guys that don't know, obviously Ben is my co-worker. We work right here at ESPN Coastal, but Ben is one of the most humble people I've met. When you go out in public, you're thinking, oh man, NFL player, they're high maintenance, man. He's always been down to earth, cool, supportive of me and everybody that's around. And like you guys heard him, he's played against guys we idolized growing up, legends, caught touchdowns against Champ Bailey, Troy Polamalu, all those type of Ray Lewis, Peyton Manning, Reggie Wayne, all those type of guys. And yet he's still able to give his presence and come on my show today and, just talk to you guys. And like, he's telling you guys his experience in the NFL. Like he's a real good dude. That's all I really got to say about that. Just a real good dude. And I know it's so many stories you got to give us about Florida. Like, I know it's so many. It's like, for the audience that's watching, I know a lot of us, when you was at Florida, I think I was 4 years old.
Oh my God.
You got the SEC championship. You never lost to Georgia. You never lost to Georgia. Yeah. But man, I mean, just tell everybody like your experience at Florida, how for some people, the viewers that are coming in, how some people don't even know, like when you caught that catch against Thomas Davis, who's going to be an NFL Hall of Famer, like that kept Georgia from winning a national championship. Just talk about that for me.
Wow. When I get to Florida, I get to Florida at 17. I turned 18 my freshman year, and you don't understand the magnitude of where you at. You know, but you don't know. And then you start realizing, you see how the coaches get with certain games, and Florida State is for those guys from the state of Florida. That's their thing, because they grew up playing with each other. Florida Georgia is legendary. So my freshman year, it's funny. It's a dude by the name of Arnold Harrison. He went to Georgia High School. I went to Butler High School, both in Augusta. He went to Georgia. Mm-hmm. We both was in the same recruiting class in 2000. I had to block him on kickoff return. He was on kickoff. Both freshman year, they said I held him. So they was like holding, and I'm looking around. They were like 84. I'm like 84. What? So Steve Spurrier asked me, "Yo, did you hold him?" I go, "Nah." So the next day or Monday, come to the meeting room. First thing Coach Spurrier said, "Hey, yo, Troupe, I saw the play. You didn't hold him. I mean, I still got the penalty." And to this day, me and Arnold Harrison go back and forth about it. But when I called a touchdown pass against Thomas Davis, once again in the Florida game. Man, we had a nice little drive. Myself, Kelvin Kite, Carlos Perez, Aaron Walker, Rex Grossman. Number one, Thomas Davis, if he don't do what he do, I don't even score. Most of the time, look, you never see strong side linebackers or safeties line right up over top of a tight end. Like, they don't do that because we outweigh them. We bigger than them. We don't necessarily more athletic than them. He got right over me. I gave him a swim move off the line. I'm 6'5", I think. Thomas Davis like 6'1.5", 6'2". Mm-hmm. Rex just threw it up. And this is how athletic Thomas Davis is. He kind of threw it up, so I kind of like reached up as high as I could. When I'm pulling the ball in, Thomas Davis gets his hand. If I would have known, man, I would have brought this picture. It's a picture the next day, so this is on a Saturday. I think it's one of the only night games for the Georgia, so I think it's one of the only night games. The next day, I wake up, I go to the Gainesville Sun. I said, "Hey, man, I'm finna go in here. I'm finna try to get some free newspapers." Mm-hmm. I go in there, tell the people who I am, whatever. But yeah, man, here goes some. I look, front page sports. It's a picture of me catching the ball, like looking at the camera because I got spun around. It's my two hands on it, and it's another hand on it. That's Thomas Davis' hand, and the headline says, "Like old times." And listen, I've never met Thomas Davis. If I ever get a chance to meet him, I'm gonna try to avoid that question. And I'm sorry, man. Like, let's talk. Make no mistake about it. Listen, I am not more athletic than Thomas Davis. I'm bigger than him. I'm taller than him. Mm-hmm. And looking back on it, it was in the beginning of the fourth quarter. Rex Grossman, our quarterback, set the record for most completions in the Florida Georgia game. And man, it was just a fun game, man. David Green, DJ Shockley, Terrence Edwards, David Pollock. I mean, it was star-studded on that field. But we came out with the dub, man. Mark Richt, I think, is a hell of a coach. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he was able to really establish at the University of Georgia following the Jim Donnan. But yeah, man, never went 4-0 against those boys, man. It was one of the highlights of my career. It wasn't because we was better than them. Because when people talk about these teams, they wasn't no slouches now. We talking about Quincy Carter at quarterback. We talking about Randy McMichael, Randy McMichael at tight end, Ben Watson at tight end, Musa Smith. Terrence there was Fred Gibson.
See,
Brown,
so a lot of
goes on and on. So
a lot of this crowd, they don't know that. Do your history.
Listen, David Pollock, Marcus Stroud, Richard Seymour, Odell Thurman, Kentrell Bell in 2000 to show you how good he was. He was the 2001 NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. So you got Richard Seymour, potential Pro Bowler, Marcus Stroud. I'm sorry, Richard Seymour, a potential Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer, yeah.
Marcus Stroud, both of those are all pros. David Pollack, the greatest SEC defensive player of all time. And behind him is Kentrell Bell. And behind him is Thomas Davis. And next to him is Sean Phillips.
And crazy thing is, throughout this entire convo, I've heard you say probably about 10 to 15 NFL Hall of Famers, a couple of first ballots. And that's just the crazy thing for people that, y'all haven't watched football for that long. Go research Thomas Davis. He's one of the best linebackers in NFL history.
And he might have one of the greatest stories in the NFL at back-to-back torn ACLs and still have the career he had, man.
Yeah.
A guy that plays safety for Georgia, linebacker right beside Luke Kuechly.
Luke Kuechly, Carolina Panthers, man.
So Thomas Davis, man, shout out to that man. Incredible career. I'm super duper happy for him and everything he accomplished in his career. I retired a Carolina Panther. Obviously got a chance to be in the College Football Hall of Fame. If you don't make it to the NFL Hall of Fame, I'm tired. I'm done with the NFL Hall of Fame because right now you got guys like Fred Taylor not in it, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, it's confusing how the NFL does the Hall of Fame, but like I said, you're in the Georgia Florida Hall of Fame. I wish people, but when they watch shows, when they comment on videos and Instagram posts, they do their research. Thomas Davis. He played at Georgia. If you go see what he did in the NFL, he's an NFL Hall of Famer. A lot of guys he named, Richard Seymour, he played for the Patriots. Go look that up. He has Super Bowl rings. He's a NFL Hall of Famer. He just named a whole bunch of guys. And like I said, this is a guy with many, many stories. Obviously, he can't say this right now on the show because, we only have a 15-minute time slot for each segment. But, man, I brought him on here today for him to kind of tell you guys what he's experienced, what's going on. And he's going to be on the next segment because I know he wants to talk about this. Now, granted, he's a Florida Gator. I never went to Georgia. I'm a Georgia Bulldog. I never got to experience that Georgia-Florida rivalry. I got some people near dear to my heart, graduated from Georgia, that she has told me about that rivalry.
It's
and it's something
now.
else.
It's serious.
It gets serious, and I see how serious they take it here at the station. But, man, we're going to take a quick 30-second break, and we're going to be right back talking about some college football playoff rankings.
No longer defeated. Also tied. On the road at Cleveland. Chris, the Browns are 10.5-point favorites. Their quarterback says he may have never than he is heading into the mouth. This last week.
Entertainment.
I told y'all I do not tell any lies. It was a 30-second break. It went into about a minute, man, but we are back. I am Cam with the 6 Man of Cam. I have been Troupe right here with me. You can catch me live on YouTube, obviously, Facebook at Cam Ursery. You can follow the Instagram page at the 6 Man with Cam. We do nice things over there. We get more consistent as time goes on, but we're doing nice things over there right now. But, man, look, I wanted to dive into something that is controversial every week. It's going to be controversial till probably the end of the year, the end of the college football playoff season. That is the college football playoff rankings. I'm looking at it right now. The top 7 seeds remain just exactly the same. Georgia 1, Bama 2, Oregon 3, Ohio State 4, Cincinnati 5, Michigan 6, Michigan State 7. Still not understanding how Michigan's ahead of Michigan State, considering Michigan State beat them. Oregon's ahead of Ohio State. Oregon gets ahead of Ohio State. I don't get that. But, Ben, what I wanted to ask you was, you see that we looked at the list, and I only listed 1 through 9. And then I listed the number 13 team in Oklahoma because they're the only team outside of, I think, 10, 11, 12 that have 1 loss. Who is one team outside of the top 4 that you think has a chance to make the playoffs, being Cincinnati, Michigan, Michigan State, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State?
I'm always going to say Notre Dame is that wild card. They're such a big brand. They're the only team that doesn't have to worry about a conference championship. All they have is their regular season. And let's face it, man, Alabama might be the gold standard of college football, but the biggest brand of college football is Notre Dame. They show you how much prestige they have. And when you start talking about the Final Four teams, Georgia is a lock. No matter what happens in the SEC championship game, Alabama will have to beat Georgia to get in. Which to me I think is crazy, going into an SEC championship game and Georgia not having to worry about it. But a lot of this has to do with national appeal. Like, for you to make the college football playoff, your record is one part of it, your team is another part of it. But Cincinnati doesn't meet that. Michigan is ahead of Michigan State, and Michigan State beat them head to head. I think that a team like Oklahoma, with the one loss, unless something dramatically crazy happens these next 2 or 3 weeks, they're done. So for me,
even if they went out,
but Cincinnati, I think, is a travesty. I'm gonna tell you why. Cincinnati, right? I know. When you're talking about a team that has, you need certain things. First round talent at quarterback, Desmond Ridder, check. They might have the best tandem of cornerbacks in the country, but they don't have that sexy name. Like, when people think Cincinnati, you think Joe Burrow. You think anybody but the Bearcats. You never ever think, somebody say Cincy, you're never ever thinking of the Bearcats.
You think of Chad Johnson.
Exactly. You think of the Chad Johnson. Right. You're thinking of TJ Hoover-Gonzalez. You think of Carson Palmer and everybody but the Bearcats. So, and just like I know, Cam, it's not so much what you say about Georgia or what I say about Florida or what I say about these big teams. It's what people outside of those fan bases say. And if you say, hey, man, who's the best player for Cincinnati? Think about Cincinnati who? Cincinnati Bearcats.
You can't name him.
And unfortunately, everybody on this list not named Cincinnati has that. Michigan, Harbaugh, Brand, Michigan State, Mel Tucker, Brand, Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Brand. So when you start Notre Dame, so I think that, unfortunately, when you late to the party, you got to wait on everybody else to get in first. Like, hold on, man, these people RSVP. Yeah, dude, we the 15 though. Yeah, I get it. They the 15. So by the time you get in, your table is waiting for you, but the food ain't as hot. Right? We've been in there. We done had the salad. We done had the first course. We done moved on to the dessert, and you just trying to get in to make sure that you get some fresh rolls out the back. So I feel bad for Cincinnati because they seeing what UCF went through. But it's too late in the season. Number 1 still plays number 2, so Alabama, Georgia still play each other in Atlanta. Michigan, I think Michigan is going to lose to Ohio State. They're not going to beat them. Oregon is waving the flag for the Pac-12 right now. They might have arguably the best player in college football, Kayvon Thibodeau. They are their defensive end. But unfortunately, if you behind Cincinnati, you playing for a New Year's 6. You had a great year. Mel Tucker, I saw some reports saying they working at a 10-year, $95 million extension. He'll be the highest paid African-American coach in college football history. Shout out to that, man.
Mel Tucker.
Shout out to Mel Tucker. But
defensive coordinator from Georgia,
exactly.
Colorado, Michigan State.
Exactly. So I'm super duper happy for Mel Tucker, but that's what happened for LSU. Was already saying they want to try to go out there and snatch that man. But no, I think now it's like the NCAA tournament. Cinderella stories are great, right? But just like I know, they're not gonna win it.
Yeah.
So, but the difference with Cincinnati and the Cinderella in the college NCAA tournament, you let Cincinnati in, they might be the most dangerous team. They're not the best, but they're most dangerous because they got nothing to lose. Look at last year in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Georgia better be lucky they had a kicker that could kick it, 50-some yards. Because if Georgia loses, no one cares who didn't play. We care that you lost. So, Cincinnati, you're not going to get in, not because you're not good enough, because you might just spoil everything. How would we say it? The 2022 national champions?
Yep.
See, Cincinnati Bearcat.
I'm going to dissect it like this. I see it from this standpoint. I think if Georgia and Alabama playing, let's just say Alabama beats Georgia. I have Alabama going number 1, Georgia goes number 2. They flip-flop. I think this weekend, because I'm going to be a little bit biased. I got some guys at Michigan State. I have Michigan State beating Ohio State this weekend. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. If Michigan State wraps that up, I think they beat Penn State the
Whoa,
last
whoa,
game of the
whoa,
season.
whoa. Now, hold on now. Now, if Michigan State beats Ohio State now.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
That changes up everything.
That changes everything.
Because
everything.
Dude, Michigan State will be representing that. Michigan State already beat Michigan.
Yep.
Michigan's not going to beat Ohio State the last game of the year.
And it's done.
Michigan State has already got their loss.
But you want to know something crazy, though? Michigan State has already made a college football playoff appearance. The first ever college football playoffs, they made it. So it's not something they're not used to.
Yeah.
And I really do think Michigan State has a chance to beat Ohio State. Will they? I don't know. But I see things playing out like this. I think they needed that loss against Baylor. You know, Oklahoma needs a loss every year. They figure out a way to lose every year.
Yeah.
But I think they'll win out. I think they'll make that number 4 spot. I think Oregon will lose another game. I think they'll drop out. I think Alabama might be able to beat Georgia. If they lose, I still think Bama will be the first 2-loss team to make the playoffs, only because when I saw Bama lose to Texas A&M, they dropped them from 1 to 3. Now they're at 2. And if they play Georgia tight and lose by 3 points, which I don't think Georgia's going to blow out Bama, but could Bama blow out Georgia? Possibly. We never know, but it's never going to be Bama gets blown out. We've never seen that before. I don't think I've ever seen that before personally. It's going to be crazy this year. I'm very excited to see what the college football playoffs is going to, lay out to be, but Cincinnati is on the outside looking in because you have to have pretty much everybody ahead of you and behind you to lose.
I'm always weary on when I need help outside of what I can control. Michigan State peaked at the right time, man, because they all got one loss right now. What's helping Ohio State is their loss was out of conference.
Mm-hmm.
So Oregon is the wild card, man, because they got a big enough brand. I mean, they've been to the national championship, not lately, but they wasn't there with Marcus Mariota. But matter of fact,
they made the playoffs.
No, Marcus Mariota and Oregon went to the national championship against who? Cam and Auburn, which was a really, really good game. So for me,
no. Marcus Mariota went when they played Ohio State. They lost to Ohio State. Who was the quarterback in 2010 when Oregon played Auburn, though?
That was Cam.
Yeah. No, that was Cam was Auburn. I'm trying to think who was the quarterback for Auburn at the time in 2010. That's something I need to look up real quick. Because I know 2015 or was it 14 when Oregon had beat Florida State and then Ohio State had beat Oregon in the national championship.
That's what it was. Yeah. Man, and see what I got mad about with Oregon now back when they went, they had no colors none of their colors that represent them. They had like a all white uniform. They had like metallic and all just a bunch of crazy stuff. But everybody know Oregon, only team in college football that doesn't repeat uniforms. They got like 15 different variations, but I feel bad for Cincinnati, man. Cincinnati, if we're doing a blind taste test and we're not looking in the past, we just focus on 2021, they're one of the top 4 teams, most deserving and best. Unfortunately, when a upstart goes up against a immovable force, that being these big brands, it's too many big brands, too many big names. Michigan State, Ohio State, Oregon, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and Cincinnati beat Notre Dame. So, hey, unfortunately, Cincinnati, man, you guys will be a really, really good feel-good story. But as far as like being, a lot would have to happen in order for this will have to happen, and it won't happen. Georgia will have to lose to Georgia Tech, then lose in the SEC championship game. That'll put them out. It's too much. It's too much.
And I will say this: I don't even know. I'll go as far as saying this: I don't even know if Georgia slipped up and lost to Tech, and then you play Bama close and lose. Me personally, I still think, regardless of anything, I think Alabama with 2 losses, Georgia with 2 losses, which Georgia won't lose 2 games. I think both of them get in because it's just such a weird and a bad season. We don't know who's really the favorite, who's a champion this year outside the only team. And I know you're a Gator, but you are a man that can admit things and say, I mean, right now, Georgia, they're the best team in the country. They look like the best. There's nobody that's really even relatively close.
Georgia is. I mean, the one thing being in this business I've learned how to do is I don't have to tell you what my heart is. Like I don't have to tell you if I pick a team to beat Florida, that doesn't mean I don't want Florida to win. But I gotta let the analytics. I gotta let what I see on tape. I gotta let what happens. What my eye test is telling me. And Georgia, what makes them the best team is they play consistently, like every single week. That defense, that front seven is. I mean, Adam Anderson. I mean, I don't. whatever, his situation off the field, man, I'm gonna let it play itself out. It's no longer on the team, and they haven't missed a beat. That's a first round pick. That's no longer on the team.
First round pick, yeah.
George Pickens never played this year.
First round pick.
Eric Gilbert never played this year.
That's first, second round pick.
So
And
all I'm saying
Tyke
is,
Smith.
Yeah,
That's
so all
another
I'm
first
saying
round.
is JT Daniels been hurt all year, doing it with Stetson Bennett. Run game hasn't been as consistent as it's been in years. Still getting it done. Undefeated. So listen, them Georgia boys, I mean, maybe BJ Bennett got me coming around with this. You want to lose a game to kind of take the stress off. That way you don't have to worry about being perfect. But hey, man, if you ever, if you've heard that soundbite from Kirby Smart, he wanted to listen. I want to break their will. I want to take their soul from them. I want to take from them everything. I can appreciate his words. His team definitely, exemplifies that. And hey, man, everybody talk about Georgia not being that good. Well, you know why they say that? Because one, they don't play them. Two, they've already played them and got beat by them. And three, they've been embarrassed by them. So them Georgia Bulldogs, man, they're on a crash course to get back to the natty, man. But they're gonna have a hard road once you get to the college football playoff.
Tell me this now. Tell me if you remember this quarterback. I did my research on the 2010 national championship. Now, before I get to the quarterback, listen to these guys that they had in the backfield at Oregon: Michael James, Kenyon Barner. Just those two right there, fast, electric. You can't catch up to them. But at quarterback, and they had Josh Huff, who was
they had old boy that
Darren Thomas.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they had Darren Thomas. So it's like, man, they had nothing but speedsters at Oregon. And if Michael Dyer knee hits the ground, we know that game is over. That's one of the greatest college football games I've ever personally seen. But look, before I let you get out of here, we got to talk about just the shoe. I need to know Ben Troupe's number 1 and 2 shoe. Now, I know what you like.
Yeah.
I know what you like.
Yeah.
But I need to hear your number 1 and number 2 shoe before I let you go.
I know people ain't going to like this, man. But see, I like crispy all white shoes. I'm going to tell you why. You only get so many wears out of them, right? I like shoes that when you see them, you say to yourself, dude, listen, where I'm from, we call them cut the grass shoes. If they all white, you're going to get about 2 or 3 good wears. Next thing you know, hey, man, they become cut the grass. Because I don't want no. So my number one is all white Jordan 1s lows. They my number one. I'm going to tell you why. You can't mess it up no matter what the fit is. No matter what it is up top. I can wear any color scheme, but they're going to be crispy white. That if somebody walk by you, I'm like moving back, like, hold on, because I don't want no scuffs. Like, listen, to the point where it's like this. I'm finna really show my sneakerhead right here. I come out the house, I don't got them on. I got on flip-flops. They in the box. I don't got them on yet. I'm putting them on in the car. That way, as soon as I step out, and listen, the weather has to be right. It's raining, can't do it. I mean, it's a slush. I need perfect conditions. That's my number 1.
Hey, wait. Before you even go to number 2, I got to tell everybody the reason why I asked them that is because, man, look, I see he got the heat on today. I got the heat on today. You got some. Hey, now everybody who knows me, you watching the stream, you watching the show, y'all know how much I love shoes. If you've seen the closet, y'all know how much I love shoes. But I've never seen these Jordans, and these are 5s. They look like some Florida PEs now. They look like some Florida PEs. I'm like, if you want my size, I'm gonna have to try to snatch them up off.
They ain't Florida PEs, but they are. What I benefit from them Knicks. That's them Knicks,
okay.
Them orange and blue skies. If you've ever seen old Spike Lee wearing them, but I mean, I will say this, man. I grew up wanting Jordans, couldn't afford Jordans, so I was late to the Jordan thing. But my number ones, man. Oh man, I know people love the Space Jams. I get it.
Come correct now.
I know people love the Space Jams.
Okay.
People love the Space Jams. Let me tell you something. And I know them cool grays about to drop, right?
Okay.
You can't get better than the patent leathers with the red bottom. You can't get better than those. But it ain't the Space Jams. It ain't the patent leather with the red bottom. It ain't the cool grays. It's that variation. But it's them all whites.
The Concourse.
I'm gonna tell you why. Now, I will say this.
Okay.
I will say this about the Concourse.
Okay.
Not the lows.
The highs.
Right? The highs. The highs. And the reason why is this. Look, when it comes to the fellas, there are certain things in life we always gonna compliment each other on. And I have to check your footwork. So I'm thinking that maybe I'm at, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm at the Hawks game. Maybe somebody done hook your boy up and gave me some court sign. The footwork is gonna be icy because the whole thing about it is your fit don't matter.
Okay.
Like think about it. That's why white tees were invented.
Mm-hmm.
That's why gold chains were invented.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, and the perfect fit, is, just keeping it a buck. Listen, I'm gonna have to kill them. I'm gonna have on an all white A-Town fitted. I might have on an all black, V-neck with some nice beads on. I don't put the ice around my neck because I want to keep my neck. People go crazy. I'm gonna have on some nice jeans. Then I might have something nice on my wrist. Listen, my watches look like they cost a lot of money, but I make them. They look like they cost a lot, but that's a total.
For the people that's smart, that's how you got to do it, man. You don't go out there. Don't be dumb and blow all your money. Just look good, man.
Well,
just look good.
Always remember this. When somebody asks you how much something costs, I say pick a number. See, it don't matter what
pick a number
because no matter
what you think.
Yeah. But the feet, I can't. The feet gonna be correct because the thing is, I represent for the early '80s babies. Then you got the late '80s babies. Then you got the early '90s babies. And you got the late '90s babies. I want a late '90s baby to walk in and look at me thinking, man, how you, boy? I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. I've been doing this right here. Plus, we get to compliment each other. Now, I can't do it Cam way. Cam can do them colors, them neons, them oranges, but Cam know how to do it. Let me tell you what you can't do. If you're gonna have on a color, don't be lazy with it. Don't give me some neon phone posits and you got on a white tee with it. Now, don't be scared. If you're gonna do it, give me something to go with the shoe. Usually, you match the hat with the kicks. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Don't give me something. And by all means, no matter what your footwork is, Adidas, Jordan, Nike, Reebok, whatever you want, please don't come in there with no dirty shoes on, man. I'm gonna tell you why. We grown men. And I get it. If I look at your footwear, man, I don't care about no shoes. I say, yeah, you do. Why? Because you put them on. So look, we ain't from New York. Them boys got them Timberlands on with them trees. And make sure if you got on them trees, they got their leather tops, no butt nakeds. You got to know what I'm talking about when you talking about them trees. But look, hey man, I'm a sneakerhead. I remember at one point I had about the most shoes I ever had at one time was probably like 500, 600 pair of shoes. At one time, I used to be an all-white Air Force One guy. No more Air Force Ones for me. But you might catch your boy in some Adidas originals, all white. I mean, I just keep it simple though, man. I got kids now. I just do what I can to let the young boys know. Listen, homie, I ain't on y'all level with the Yeezys and the PG-13s or whatever y'all want. But when it comes to that sneaker game for real, I'm like a nice car. Listen, you got a nice car, I got a nice car. Let's pull up. I ain't gonna tell you where I am till I pull up. And then you go, Ben, I ain't know. I said, listen, the difference is yours rented. So mine's paid for. There's a difference in these things. So when it comes to the kicks, hey man, I like the fact that I can wear them lows. But Cam, I watch Cam do what he does. Cam experiment with them colors. I call Cam Skittles. Cam will come in here with the whole rainbow on, but he ready. But if you don't know just because you can't afford it, don't make you a sneakerhead.
That's true.
I can tell if you're a sneakerhead by one, if they clean. Two, if you know why you got them, not that you got them. And three, hey man, how you put them together? And another thing, if you wear your real nice kicks to go hoop, you ain't no sneakerhead, man. You don't wear your nice shoes to hoop. When they start getting a little dusty, that's when you take them onto the court and just go ahead and finish them off.
Look, y'all, I had to ask him that because I come in the office every day. Every day I come in the office. I got a rotation. So you gotta rotate your shoes and you gotta do whatever you gotta do to look clean. Ben's like, man, you got them on today, bro. He say it every day now.
I don't acknowledge it at first, but Cam will come in. Cam is a dunks dude. That's how I know Cam like kicks. Dunks are not Jordans. Just like back in the day when the Chrysler 300 came out and they said it looked like a Phantom. Yeah, it looked like a Phantom till a Phantom pull up. And you go, wait a minute. Yeah, a Chrysler 300 look like a Chrysler 300. Dunks look like Jordans. They ain't Jordans. But man, have y'all fun, man. The older you get, whatever you love, it's gonna show. I have a love of shoes. I have a love of A-Town fitteds. Outside of that, man, I keep it a buck, man. And Victor watches. That's my brand of choice. And other than that, man, I keep it a buck. I ain't competing with nobody. If you want me to care about what you say, holler at me through the 1st and the 5th. That's when I pay all my bills. If I don't see you, we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Yeah, man. Hey, we try to keep it clean in the office, man. I try to keep it clean. Come in with the sneaks. Me and him.
No.
This
Cam
the only guy.
Cam come in.
I come in
real
clean
slow.
now.
Like Cam, like look and say, "What's up?" I be like, "Hey." I be looking like that boy got on chocolate today, not brown, chocolate. I'm like, look at the footwork. Hey man, listen, it's a subtle thing when it comes to the shoes, but it keeps you young, it keeps you fresh. But I will say that to y'all people that be camping out for the Jordans, may God bless y'all. I'm not camping out for no shoes.
Hey,
I'm not doing it.
I will, depending on the shoe. But hey, y'all, we way over time. We're gonna go ahead and go to break. I just wanted to, bring my main man Ben on just for a couple of segments, man. This is a good guy. This is somebody. He's kind of, paved the way for me. He's since I've came here, at ESPN Coastal. He's helped me do segments and shows with him to get me comfortable to do what I'm doing right now in front of you guys, doing this show each and every week on a Wednesday. And man, like I said, this is the 6 Man with Cam. I'm with Ben Troupe, NFL tight end, former NFL tight end, Florida All-American, legend, UGA Hall of Fame, UGA Florida Hall of Fame.
I represent the great state of Georgia for high school football. And
there you go.
I still think I represent.
And I know you're watching the show. Mama, Auntie, he is from Augusta. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we have Augusta product.
Augusta. Yeah, man. Listen, I still love the state of Georgia, just not the University of Georgia. But shout out to them Bulldogs. Hey, man, go ahead and finish that job, man. I don't know if I can still live in the state if y'all win ready. But
it's all love, because if we win, I might not see him at work. But look, we're gonna go ahead, take this little. I say a minute break. We're gonna let y'all get a breather. We're gonna take a minute break, and we'll be right back.
This year it's not, and I don't know if that's because they came in believing that they were going to have all three, and they planned for that. They're surprisingly ninth in defensive efficiency.
All right, y'all. I am back. I appreciate y'all for staying and watching the show. This is the 6 Man with Cam. I am Cam Ursher. We just had Ben Troupe on. Like I said, former NFL tight end, college football. Basically, if you want to say Hall of Famer, he was an All-American at Florida, Georgia, Florida Hall of Fame. Like I said, we're trying to bring on big guests each and every week on the show from now on, and so that's the goal I'm gonna try to bring. But if not, I'm still right here for y'all to listen to. And man, I want y'all to get involved with this now, because I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna do a rant. We got a couple of minutes. We got about 20 minutes left on the show. I'm gonna do a little rant right now on the Atlanta Falcons. For everybody that knows me, I am an Atlanta Falcons fan. I am a diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. I am not an Atlanta Hawks fan. Do not associate me with that. I support the Braves, but I wouldn't say I'm just a big time Braves fan. But man, the Atlanta Falcons this past week, I don't even know the score anymore. I think it was like 43-3. It's that bad. Once a team gets in the 40s and you're still in single digits, you kind of get upset. But Atlanta Falcons, they have so much to work on. And I'm not going to rant just about the Atlanta Falcons. I still have to talk about the Los Angeles Rams, how bad they looked against the 49ers and how they're 0-7 against the 49ers in the past 4 years. And you got McVay, and he's a genius and a guru, but he can't beat Kyle Shanahan for some odd reason. But staying on the Falcons, man, I'm just disappointed in the fact that, last night I was playing Madden, and I'm doing a GM mode where I could GM and be the GM of the Falcons, and I could get rid of players and get draft picks to make the team better. And that's exactly what I did. For the people that play Madden, you know exactly what I'm talking about, franchise mode. And it just started making me think. I'm like, you know what? I'm come tomorrow on my show and make a damn rant about these Falcons, because it's ridiculous how you go from being your rival, the Saints. And I don't know what Arthur Smith and the coaching staff did. I don't like blaming Arthur Smith because he's inherited one of the worst rosters I've ever seen in my life. For everybody that's watching the show, you can text me, comment, whatever. My thing is, what player on the Falcons right now would you say, if you could tell the team, hey, you could pick up any player from the Falcons right now and they'll take them immediately, what player from the Falcons would they necessarily get? That goes to show you there's no like significant big time players on the Falcons at all. It's none at all. It's ridiculous. I'm just lost for words about how bad we were this past Sunday. It shows no lack of heart. Matt Ryan, I don't want to blame him. Matt Ryan gets a lot of blame. Do I think Matt Ryan needs to go after this year? Absolutely, because I just think we need more young blood in the organization. But is Matt Ryan a bad quarterback? No, our defense is atrocious. Arthur Smith, he can't get a running game going because Mike Davis has been terrible. I'm disappointed in the Falcons as a whole, but I want to go to the bright side of things. I'm not going to even touch on the Rams other than the fact that Odell, I don't know how big of an impact Odell is going to be. I thought he was going to be a bigger impact. They got Odell. For people that don't know why the Rams got Odell, they got Odell because Van Jefferson was dropping passes, and they thought it was going to be Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and Odell. Well, Robert Woods just tore his ACL. So now you're kind of stuck in the same situation. You don't know if Odell's healthy enough to be that number 2 target. I had the Rams as the favorite, but now, if you know me personally, my favorite player of all time is Aaron Rodgers. I have the Green Bay Packers winning the Super Bowl this year. That's just me personally. I don't really care who y'all have ahead of them. The Packers are the number 1 seed in the NFL. They have the best record, tied with the Tennessee Titans at 8-2. But the difference is Tennessee Titans missing Derrick Henry. Packers lost a game without Aaron Rodgers. I think they'll be just fine. But if the NFL playoffs have to go through, if the NFC has to go through Lambeau Field in Green Bay, I'm telling y'all right now, the Green Bay Packers will go to the Super Bowl. They will go to the Super Bowl, and they will go to LA, and they will more than likely play who I believe will make it to the Super Bowl. As of right now, the New England Patriots. And I know that's crazy to say, but I actually have the Patriots making the Super Bowl as of right now. Yes, the Falcons play the Patriots tomorrow. God, please help us. It's going to get ugly. The Falcons are probably going to lose by 2-3 touchdowns tomorrow. Yes, I don't know if the Falcons will score 10 points because the Patriots are that dominant on defense. Mac Jones is the best quarterback out the draft class right now. He got a lot of flack for coming out of college and not being the flashy quarterback, but Mac Jones is better than Trevor Lawrence. He's better than Trey Lance. He's better than Justin Fields. He's better than Zach Wilson. He's better than all 4 of those quarterbacks right now. It's not even freaking close. He's way better than all of them. So, man, I would go New England in the Super Bowl right now, and I would have New England and Green Bay playing in the Super Bowl. But from the outside looking in, you still have Tampa Bay Buccaneers nipping at your heels. You have the Arizona Cardinals nipping at your heels. You can't count out the Rams because they are 7-3. They do have the best defense in the league, or pass rush, in my opinion. They got the best corner, the best defensive tackle, one of the best secondaries in the league, the best front line in the league. You can't count them out. But in the AFC, Kansas City, they're winning games, but is Kansas City really a threat? I don't know about that. I see the Raiders. They're still kind of in the mix. I don't know if the Raiders are better than the Kansas City Chiefs. If you go to the AFC South, you still have the Tennessee Titans. That is my dark horse team. If you know me, I used to always say when Tennessee acquired Julio Jones, I said Tennessee going to go to the Super Bowl. Or if not the Super Bowl, AFC Championship. And right now, it still looks like they'll go to the Super Bowl and AFC Championship without Julio Jones and Derrick Henry right now. Once Julio Jones comes back and he's healthy for the Tennessee Titans, and Derrick Henry gets healthy for the Tennessee Titans, they could win the Super Bowl, or they possibly make it and play the Green Bay Packers. But I think both of those teams are far ahead of anybody else. But look, I want to go to a quick break. I wanted to make that a quick rant because this next segment, me and a couple of my friends in the group chat were definitely arguing about NBA teams and what finesse teams have ever won an NBA championship. I want to see who y'all think, but I've never known a finesse team to win an NBA championship. It's always been physical teams to win the NBA championship. So I'm gonna come back. I'm kind of upset about what happened in the group chat because I'm like, y'all not thinking with your heads. But I'm gonna give a quick rant after that. And this is the 6 Man with Cam. You can find us on Instagram at the 6 Man with Cam. You can find me on Facebook at Cam Urshery, and we'll be right back right after this.
You've heard the saying, slow and steady wins.
We are back. And man, look, I want to touch on this topic real quick. I'm not going to keep y'all for too long. Like I said, shout out to Ben Troupe, co-worker here at ESPN Coastal. Cool dude. He's the one that, kind of paved the way for me to even figure out how to host a show. Like, I've had plenty of talks with him. He's put me on to nice, cool people. Me personally, for you guys, I have some nice guests coming up for these next couple of weeks, next couple of months. So just stay tuned in. And I'm talking about really nice because he knows a lot of people. But man, I mean, former NFL player, Florida All-American, Florida legend. So I definitely appreciate him for coming on. And you might see him again later on in the season, whether it's NFL or college football results, but you might see him again. But man, I wanted to touch on this. I have it written down right here. Name me a team in NBA history that won a championship that was not physical. Name me a finesse team in NBA history that has won a championship. A lot of my friends and I went back and forth in the group chat today talking about the Golden State Warriors and how good they look. And yes, they look good. The Golden State Warriors, they look great. Are they a championship team? Absolutely not. But they look good. It's 15 games into an 82 game NBA season. Are we going to crown the champ now? With LeBron James, he hasn't played 5 games this year. Kyrie Irving hasn't played any games at all this year. James Harden looks out of shape. Damian Lillard is out of shape. It's a lot of guys that haven't even caught up to even season form, not mid-season form, season form. And we're already crowning the champ in 15 games. And I think that's just irresponsible and, quite frankly, stupid. I really do think it's stupid. Because I will put it like this. Over the years, I have watched pretty much a whole life. I've watched basketball. I was born in 1998, for the people that don't know. So I'm 23 years old. So I'm able to look back really, really far. So I've been on this earth for 23 years. Of course, probably the first 4 or 5 years, I was not able to watch those games live. And if I did, I didn't know what was going on. I just had somebody put the NBA games in front of my TV screen. But what I will say is this, dating back to 2000, I have watched every finals game of every final series and dating back to 2000. And I've watched it closely. In each series that I have watched, I have seen how physical some of these teams are, how physical teams are good. And I see people I see somebody say something funny in the chat. My apologies. But I see how physical these teams are. Dating back to the 2010 Lakers versus Celtics, game 7. That was the most physical game I've personally seen in my life. But I could go back as far as saying 07, Cavs and Spurs. Even though the Cavs got swept, that was still a physical series. I could go far as back as saying 2011 Dallas and Miami. For people that think, oh, Dallas had Dirk and JJ Barea, but they also had Jason Kidd, who was a physical point guard. They also had Tyson Chandler, defensive player of the year. They had Michael Finley. They had Stevenson. They had some Rough Riders. My thing is, outside of 2017, 2018, and 2015 Golden State, what team has won a championship off of being finesse? And before you say, oh, you can't count those out, those three teams won 3 championships off of injuries. That's one. But two, last time I checked, Andre Iguodala was a Finals MVP for 2015. Andre Iguodala is a physical basketball player. Draymond Green is like a 2-3-time defensive player of the year. He's a physical basketball player. For Pete's sake, Zaza Pachulia, even though he's not a dynamic player, he was their starting center for those championship runs. He is a physical basketball player. Look at the stuff he used to do. JaVale McGee for those 2017, 2018 runs alongside Draymond. Klay Thompson is a physical player to me because he's the defender. Andre Iguodala, they had physical guys on their teams, which made their team somewhat physical. But my thing is, I look back to what I believe is the most important series in NBA history. The last 7 championships have been off of injury. No, the last 7 championships have been off of injury based on just one game. The Miami Heat against the Los Angeles Lakers. Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic go down game 1. Bam Adebayo still plays the rest of that series. I think Goran Dragic is out. Goran Dragic he's not making an impact against LeBron and AD. That series is over. Last year against the Bucks and Suns, I will give you that. The Bucks are, but there was no injuries in that final series. That's what I'm getting at. I'm saying in the final series or in some of those runs. Now, the Bucks, they got lucky with the Nets. The Suns, they got lucky with the Lakers. Obviously, the Raptors got lucky with the Warriors. But the Warriors have been lucky in 3 of their championship runs. 2015, Steph Curry did not play a starting point guard the entire playoff run. Not one. Go look it up. He didn't play Mike Conley. He didn't play Patrick Beverly. He didn't play Kyrie Irving. And then on top of that, in the finals, he didn't play Kyrie Irving or Kevin Love in that finals. And they still almost lost to LeBron by himself with Timothy Mozgov and J.R. Smith being his first and second best players. And they still almost lost that. Then you go to 2017. They're down 25 points at halftime to Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs. Zaza Pachulia hurts Kawhi Leonard, and we know that story. Then they're down in 2018. They're down 3-2 to Chris Paul and the Houston Rockets. Chris Paul messes up his hamstring. They barely beat them game 6, barely beat them game 7 after one of the worst shooting performances in NBA history by the Houston Rockets, where they shot 33 straight missed 3-pointers. So that's what I'm getting at. That's the point I'm trying to get at. Obviously, teams get lucky. I'm not going to say Golden State didn't deserve those championships because, hey, you won them, you won them. The Raptors, you won them, you won them. It's off of injuries because if teams were fully healthy, obviously it'd be a different story. But for the people that's in the chat, because I see we've had an influx of people come in. For the people that's in the chat, tell me this. The most important NBA series probably ever was 2016. 73-9 Golden State Warriors against the Cleveland Cavaliers with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. And why is this important? The Warriors were 73-9. They came back from a 3-1 series against OKC where they were down 3-1 and came back and beat OKC with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, which led Kevin Durant to go to Golden State. That's one reason why it was one of the most important years in NBA history. But that final series was so important because no team in NBA history in the finals that had went up 3-1 blew the series. And Golden State blew that series. Up 3-1. They were 73-9. I was watching the game with my mom and my family, and I'm saying to myself, hey, while Golden State was up 3-1, I'm like, damn. I said and I don't know if my mom remembers this. I said to my mom, I think Cleveland might come back and still win this. And she's like, Cameron, the series is over. I'm like, no. It's 3-1. You still got to beat LeBron and Kyrie. I cannot count out LeBron and Kyrie just like that because I seen the writing on the wall. Kyrie Irving, if you watch the series, after game 1, he was cooking. Game 2, game 3, and game 4. He was cooking. Game 3, he set an NBA Finals record for most points in the first quarter. Game 4, he had like 30 in a loss. But that game 5, I got to sit back in my chair for that game 5. That game 5, Kyrie Irving and LeBron James are still the only 2 teammates in NBA history. A lot of history happened in this series, ladies and gentlemen. The only two people in NBA history to have, the only duo to have 40 plus. They're the only ones to do it. Kobe and Shaq, who I believe is the greatest duo ever, never scored 40 plus each in the same game. Kyrie Irving in game 5 had 41 points. LeBron James in game 5 had 41. In game 6, LeBron James drops 40. Kyrie, he drops 30 something. It's one of the best it's one of the best performances we've seen by a duo in NBA history, because Kyrie, he's taking turns just getting buckets. He come down the court, he get about 4 or 5 buckets. LeBron, is your turn. Have fun. We've never seen that before. We've seen where Kobe gets his buckets, he throws oops to Shaq, he throws it down low to Shaq, they dominate. We've seen where LeBron, he takes over in final series with Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade might take over one game, cool. We've seen that before. We've seen where Anthony Davis and LeBron, they assert their dominance in the paint, kind of playing for the post. We have never seen a duo in NBA history where they're coming up and they're playing strictly ISO. It's your turn to score. It's my turn to score. We've never seen it. And that was all being the fact that the Cavs were able to come back down 3-1, not because they were the better team. I keep hearing, oh, they were the better team. No, because they were more physical. They played more physical. They brushed up on Steph Curry. They bumped him. They pushed him out his comfort zone. He wasn't shooting threes like that no more. They were running him off the three-point line to force him to finish in the paint. He couldn't. Klay Thompson had a bad series. The only person that played good in that series was Draymond Green. And why is that? Because Draymond is a physical player. So in physical series, that's where physical players thrive. Physical and physical. Finesse never beats physical. You could go as far back as saying there's a lot of teams, man. There's a lot of teams. I could go to 2014 where physical is the wrong word. I think you should be by default saying aggressive. No, physical is the right word because if you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers closing lineup in all those games, Kyrie Irving, I don't care what nobody say. Kyrie Irving, he's nice. He ain't finesse. If you can finish under the paint like that, you're not finesse. J.R. Smith, physical. LeBron, physical. K-Love, to an extent, he bodies, but he's just slow moving. He's not athletic, but he's more so physical than anything. Tristan Thompson, at that time, I know we make fun of Tristan Thompson, but he is physical. I see in the comments, MJ and Scottie Pippen, they were the best duo. No. They weren't the best duo. They were the greatest duo. So here's the difference. The greatest duo is Scottie Pippen and MJ because they have 6 rings. The best duo is Kobe Bryant and Shaq. It's not close. Scottie Pippen, show me a series where Scottie Pippen averaged over 25 plus alongside Jordan averaging 35. That's dominance. There were multiple series where Shaquille O'Neal averaged like 36 and 15 and Kobe Bryant averaged 35 and 8. Scottie Pippen and MJ weren't doing that. They weren't doing that. They're the greatest duo because they had Dennis Rodman to be able to do that dirty work in the second run and get their rebounds. And they're the greatest duo as far as wings. Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, they used to smother people on the wings for their defense. But Michael Jordan was that scorer. Michael Jordan's the one putting up 42 points. Scottie Pippen averaging 18, 8, and 5. That's cool. 18, 8, and 8. That's cool. But Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Kobe was averaging 35, 7, and 8 in his second year playing with the Lakers. In 2002, playing with the Lakers. Shaq in that playoff run, guess what he averaged? 35 and 14. It's you're averaging 70 points together. There's teams in the NBA that don't even average 70 points with just 5 players. 2 players average 70 points. It's the most dominant duo. I see where people are asking, did you just say Kyrie Irving isn't finesse? Kyrie Irving is not a finesse player. If you're able to, he's the greatest below the rim finisher in NBA history. If you're able to finish below the rim like that, I don't consider you finesse. If you're able to bump, grind, and do all those moves Kyrie does, and he's not a bad defender come crunch time, I don't think he's a finesse player. But I will put it like this. We got to go ahead and cut it short because it has been an hour. We have 2 minutes left. I will say this. There's not a team in NBA history that has won a final series off of being finesse. There's not a lot of teams in NBA. I don't think there's any team in NBA history that's won the final series off of finesse. And before you say the Spurs had Tim Duncan, who is one of the greatest defenders of all time. They had Bruce Bowen. They had Robert Ory. They had a lot of guys that will bump and bang with you. Tiago Splitter. You don't have to be a great player to be physical. I think y'all are missing that. Just like with the Celtics and the Lakers in 2010, I'll be the first to say this. That was the most physical series I ever seen. But if Kendrick Perkins plays in that game 7, I know we make fun of him, but he's a physical dude. I don't know if my Lakers win that game because it was already a physical game but without him. Tony Allen, physical in that series. KG, don't even get me started. Physical. Ray Allen, physical. Paul Pierce, physical. Rondo, physical. You don't win championships being finesse. You got to win championships with Rough Riders, and I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. There's not a team in NBA history that you could just say, oh, they won off of shooting threes. That's why I'm sitting here saying I don't think Golden State is a team that I'm too much worried about. Are they a team to worry about in the regular season? Hell yes. They're always a good regular season team. But come playoff time, am I supposed to be scared of Jordan Poole, who has no playoff experience? James Wiseman, who hasn't even played 50 games in the NBA career but been in the league 2 years? Am I supposed to be scared of Draymond Green, who hasn't been the Draymond Green we know of and love to be since 2016, 5 years ago? Am I supposed to be scared of Klay Thompson, who hasn't played basketball in over 1,000 days? Klay Thompson hasn't played basketball in 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. That's y'all Lord and Savior, who y'all think is just going to come back and elevate you. Am I supposed to be scared of Steph Curry, who in the regular season, he's great, but come playoff time, he goes from great to good? Did you not see Steph Curry in the play-in game last year? He lost to the Lakers, and he lost to Ja Morant, who's a second-year player in the Memphis Grizzlies. Steph Curry is not a great playoff performer. Am I supposed to be scared of that? Jonathan Kuminga, who's a rookie? Moses Moody, who's a rookie? Am I supposed to be scared of that? I see where people are saying Golden State is the best team in the league. It's 14 games. If you think Golden State is the best team in the league off of 14 games, you're clearly a prisoner of the moment, because this is what I want y'all to hear. When Golden State loses in the playoffs, I don't want to hear no Klay coming off an injury. I don't want to hear those excuses, because I'm hearing y'all talk that jive right now. It's 14, 15 games. Y'all too quick. Y'all too quick. Remember the Miami Heat when they first formed, they started off 9-8. And what happened? They went to the NBA Finals. The Los Angeles Lakers, I just said it a couple of shows ago. When we won the NBA championship, we started off the season 0-2 and we got our butts kicked opening night. The Lakers are 8-7 and we don't even have LeBron, Kendrick Nunn, Trevor Ariza, Taylor Horton-Tucker just came back. We're missing LeBron James. There's teams missing players. The Bucks, they don't have Drew Holiday. He just came back. They don't have Chris Middleton. They're missing players. The Nets, they're missing Kyrie. So y'all are saying they're the best team in the league. You're saying, I see where you're saying the Warriors beat the top dogs. Brother, you didn't beat the top dogs. Kyrie Irving hasn't been playing yet. When Kyrie comes back, if Kyrie comes back, hey, I don't have nothing to say. But you're also beating teams in the regular season. So for the guy that said in the comment, my boy, that's my brother, you still my brother. But for my guy that said they're the top dogs, okay, I'm gonna put it like this. When y'all went 73-9, weren't y'all the top dogs then? That's my thing. When y'all went 73-9, y'all were the top dogs then, right? Did y'all win the chip? No, y'all didn't. That's the point I'm getting at. It's the regular season. It does not matter. I've seen 5th seeds win the finals. I see 5th seeds go to the finals. All I'm saying is Golden State, I have Golden State going to the conference finals. I will give you that. I have them going to the conference finals. But my thing is, I'm not going to, me personally, I don't crown a team the best team in the NBA off of 15 games right now. Right now, there's nobody that's the best team. But I will say who's bad. My Lakers right now, they're bad. Absolutely. I'm not biased. They're bad. But we're still 8-7. We're still over 500. We don't have LeBron James. I don't know what we're going to be. We're bad right now, but when LeBron James come back, I'm okay. But what I will say is this. Golden State has looked rather impressive. I like what Steph Curry is doing. I don't want to see Draymond got suspended. Were you saying the same thing when Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving got hurt and y'all won in 2015? Because Draymond got suspended one game. So that means you still have Game 6 and Game 7 to win in that 2016 finals. Did you say the same thing when Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love missed the entire 2015 finals and y'all barely beat the Cavs? You can't say that, bro. You missed one game out of 7 games. Those guys missed 6 games and you barely won. So you got to have a median. You going to accept that championship you got in 2015 without them playing? Or are you going to take that and just say Draymond got suspended 1 game, but you still had game 6 and game 7? Game 6, the Cavs did the same thing to y'all. They just bullied Steph Curry. Game 7, they did the same thing. They bullied Steph Curry. So what I'm going to say is Golden State looks impressive, but I keep telling everybody, just pump your brakes. It's not momentum. It's not momentum in that series because Steph Curry, he didn't show up those game 5, 6, and 7. Draymond is the only player that should have lost momentum. He was y'all best player game 6 and 7. But I will put it like this. I do think Steph Curry will win the NBA scoring title. That I do believe. I've been said that. I said that weeks ago. I said it's between him and KD. I said Steph Curry will win MVP. I think Steph Curry will win MVP. Steph Curry is a great regular season player. But come postseason time, I think things get real. I want y'all to understand. Y'all are celebrating the Golden State Warriors in 15 games. And the season just started. We're not even a month into the NBA season, or we're barely a month in, and y'all celebrating like y'all won the NBA Finals, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's 70 plus games to play, plus a whole nother season in the playoffs. Golden State, I'm happy for Golden State because Steph Curry is showing me something that I've been wanting to see for years. Can you please lead a damn team without all those other superstars? Can you please lead a team to the playoffs? And now he is finally doing that. I have nothing but respect to Steph Curry, but nothing but respect to the Golden State Warriors. But I think it's just a little irresponsible to crown somebody an NBA champ or the best team in the league off of 15 games. It's a long season to be played. The Bucks not even healthy, Nets not healthy, Nuggets not healthy, Lakers not healthy. Those are 4 contenders not healthy. But I gotta cut it close. Steph don't talk about anything after the conference finals. That's what I'm saying, bro. Go look up the stats and statistics. Steph is not a great finals performer, and he's not a great playoff performer. But with that being said, now, hey, like I said, I appreciate you guys for coming in. I really like the fact that you guys came in and, hit home. I don't really have a problem with you guys going back and forth with me about segments and stuff like that. I like it. Whatever y'all feel on your mind, say it. This is an open space, as somebody I know close would say, this is an open space. So y'all definitely come in and give me good feedback, good vibes, nothing but this way. But this is the 6 Man with Cam. I do appreciate y'all for coming in. I'm a little over time. I'm about 8 minutes over time. I see somebody says go Hawks. Woo, y'all look really bad right now. But this is the 6 Man with Cam. Y'all can follow me on IG at the 6 Man with Cam, at Cam Got Fans, Cam with a K, on Facebook at Cam Ursery. And we are live every week, 6:30. But I will say this, we're not going to be live next week, more than likely, because it's Thanksgiving. I want people to go enjoy their families because I know I will be enjoying my time, whether I'm here by myself or with my family. So if I don't see you guys next week, y'all be safe. Hug your loved ones. Tell them about 6 Man with the Cam. And once again, man, y'all subscribe, turn on the notification bells, comment in the comment section. And look, please just like the video right now. Subscribe for me right now. Share this to your friends because, man, we want to make this thing big. We are family in here. I try to respond. That's why I look over here at the computer screen. I try to respond to all of y'all. Y'all share this to your friends, your loved ones. But happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to be sad tomorrow because I know my Falcons are going to lose. So my Thursday's already messed up. I might not even do IG Live tomorrow because I'm going to be upset. But, man, look, if I don't see you guys next week, happy Thanksgiving. Cyber Monday coming up. Go do your shopping for your girl. If you got the females in here, for your man, for Christmas. But y'all be safe. Eat some dressing. Eat some turkey. And we out, man. I appreciate y'all for coming in. The 6 Man with Cam. I'll be back with y'all in a week or two.